Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It is November 1st, 2022. It is 6:30 p.m. This is the time for our Northern Lebanon School District Committee meeting. We're meeting as a committee of the whole this month. I call this meeting to order. Before we begin, I just want to note that the board will be meeting an executive session immediately following tonight's committee meeting to discuss matters of personnel and confidential business contracts and potential property negotiation issues. We'll move on to the public comment portion of our meeting this evening. I understand that there is no public comment. All public members were invited to submit interest to provide comments this evening by 3 o'clock. And Mrs. Martin, I still understand that we have not received any. Okay. Thank you. We'll move to items for discussion, and this is the notification. The minutes shall note that the public notice was given for the meeting in accordance with Act 84 of 1986. Notices and advisements of these meetings will carry the intent that limited business may be conducted on any scheduled meeting date. We'll discuss now the potential consent calendar and items for discussion for next week's full meeting. Dr. Messinger.
Yeah, number 4 is our typical 3 items: the approval of minutes, the student activity count, and the cash disbursements. Number 5 actually is the annual IDEA agreement. It's for our pass-through funds. So we get the funds from the federal government and then we pass them on to the IU-13 for services. We have no items under building and grounds, no items under extracurricular. Are there any questions, I guess, on any of those so far? Before we get to...
Can I just add for that, the IDA funds, this is the ARP IDA funds. We'll still have the annual one to approve probably in January or February. So this is just it's like kind of extra money for us.
Extra money is good. Thank you, Leanne. And under number 8, there's some final adoption policies and then 3 tentative adoption for you to look through. Nothing earth-shattering there, just some updates as we continue to get them into the 2020s instead of the 1987s. Curriculum, those are the math curriculum that were before you last month that we had given for tentative. Those that be final adoption. And then the annual career planner. Dr. Ebert's here tonight joining us. Thank you for coming. And Chuck is with us. Thank you for coming. How's life in elementary school? Halloween is now over. That's a good thing, right? Okay. And Chuck was dressed as Waldo last night at trunk or treat, and Lee was, I don't know what Lee was, but a pumpkin suit thing that was not very pretty, but welcome. And while I'm on the topic, I'm off topic, but while I'm on that topic, thank you. We had some board representation. Michelle was also a pumpkin, a nicer pumpkin than Lee was. And Director Marlowe was also there as a German potato chip maker. The career planner, Dr. Ebert, could you just quickly address any of there weren't many changes to this. There were, I guess, just a few little things. And would you like to talk about the changes for the planner for this year?
Yes, there's not too many changes, but the 3 main ones that I'll point out is that there are 24 of our virtual academy courses that are in there. We haven't had them in the past, so just making sure that the students are available, know what's available for those. Band instruction music with the Band is Band that we've implemented this year. We wanted to make sure to give it its appropriate credit due, so we've increased that from 1 credit to 1.5 credits for the extra time that they put in outside with the competitions and also at the parades, the parades and things of that nature. And finally, with going on with German, we have German 1 and Intro to German this year, but we'll be adding on German 2 for next year.
Thank you. And I love the band thing. I appreciate the thought process there. And I like that we're getting the virtual stuff in as well. So I appreciate that. Any questions for Dr. Ebert? Okay, thank you. Sorry, under number 9, our substitute list. Each month we have some hopefully additions to that. And then under 9.2. It is a secretarial substitute at Jonestown that we're going to be using due to a personal situation over there that we wish the best to, but we need someone to cover the office for us temporarily. Under 9.3, 2 teachers that we have that are resigning. Really just want to draw attention to Miss Roush that's leaving. She's been making that commute from Sealands Grove, right? 55 minutes. Am I saying that right? 55 minutes a day. Appreciate her doing that for us, but she did find something closer to home, and happy for her there. And then there's also a job description. This is for the new elementary building. We will have 5 specials for elementary students next year. We'll have obviously the PE, the art, the music. What am I missing? Library, thank you. And STEM. STEM will be one of our specials for the kids. And so there's a job description for the specialists. The requirement is you have to be certified K-6 in order to teach all the grade levels that will be at the elementary building. But that'll be something exciting for us to add for that. And once we have that job description, we're going to open that up. We'd like to start getting things arranged for the elementary school and communicating to teachers as quickly as we possibly can. So after we approve this, we'll open it up and see who's interested, because that may create some dominoes that help us with the staffing for next year. Any questions on 9? Okay, and number 10, Amy Wingerter is going to be providing 15 hours of instruction in the home with a student. And then the fall play Holes is coming up on the 4th and the 5th at 7 o'clock. Certainly invite you to attend that later this week.
Great, thank you. Just a few other items, not for the agenda for next month, but in the realm of information. I would just like to note, I think I did send an email to everyone, but I'd just like to note that Director England has volunteered to serve in the position as the legislative liaison going forward. So I've accepted that and appointed Director England. Thank you for that indication. Just to also note for all of the directors that next week is the week that we will be voting on our board vacancy. We have received written responses to our questions that we've submitted to the prospective candidates. We received 8 of the 9. You should have received all those. So in the coming week, we would just ask that you review those, take a look at them. We will not be discussing those in private or in any other context, but those should provide for you a basis for some decisions that we'll have to make next Tuesday. And then we'll have some additional public questions for those directors. Or potential directors. I've gotten a handful of questions from some of you. And if you have some others that you'd like for us to ask publicly of those prospective candidates, please let me know. I will winnow them down into something that is manageable. We currently do have 9 potential candidates. So be prepared for a longer evening, but we're gonna go through it and give it the time that it's due. And then lastly, I'd just like to note, Director Marlowe is at the volleyball game this evening. Our volleyball team is in the district semifinal. They've had a great season, and we're hoping that season continues. So obviously, all of our hopes are with our volleyball team this evening. Anything else from directors for this evening for the committee meeting? No. Okay, hearing none. Thank you for your time. This meeting is adjourned.